What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Different Views. We got a guest on today again. We got a special guest coming from Canton, Ohio. We got Dominic Robinson. Dom, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's
Tell
going
the
on?
people.
My name Don. Uh, Grew up in Kent my whole life. Now I'm went to Miami University in Ohio. Now I play for the Chicago Bears. Drafted in the fifth round last year.
All right, so saying you came in from Canton, Ohio, how was like life? Like, tell us a little bit about you more. Like, how was life in Canton? A little bit about your family. A little background. Nothing too deep, just a
Yeah.
little background. But
Uh, Grew up in Kent my whole life. Really in one house, two parent household, three brothers, two older, one younger. So I'm in the middle. Uh, Grew up in the church. My dad is the pastor out of Massillon. Um, Played football. Started playing football my whole life. I mean, growing up in Kent really wasn't that hard for me. I stayed out of trouble for most of the time, and got my grades and stuff. Played football, three-sport athlete, basketball, football, track. Did it all type deal. So, um, really, like I said, stayed out of trouble. Made sure I ain't causing any extra stress for my parents or whatnot because they stayed on all three of us, and went to school at the end of the day.
What made you like I mean obviously your family motivated you and being raised right and all that helped you, but like what you think it was anything else that helped you like stay out of trouble? Because you already know like being from Canton, all that shit around there.
Yeah,
Is,
it
is there
was
anything else?
honestly it was a mix of stuff, man. Just seeing people dying, a bunch of shootouts and stuff, house parties getting you know shot up and wrong people being in the wrong place, wrong time type deal. So honestly, I wasn't scared, but I was just like, yeah, it really ain't for me. So I just
Yeah.
once I got done, and plus I had this crazy thought that my dad knew everything and that he was gonna find out about everything. So I was like, shit, I ain't finna put myself in no situation where I'm
He gonna
finna
whoop
get
your
kicked
ass.
out the man, like I'm finna get kicked out the crib for some stupid stuff. So I just
Yeah.
went on, came home from everything and went straight home.
Yeah. That's dope. So I have a father figure. I mean, I feel like that's what a lot of the kids back there lack, and that's why they wasn't on the same path that you was on for real, for real. So that's dope to have your dad in your life for sure.
so then, like, how we always talk about, and like you just said, like how we always got friends. We didn't know each other since middle school, and like how
Yeah.
we used to talk, like in the summer, like how we have like friends who went down the wrong path. Was it ever a time like where you kind of wanted to pull that person up with you, but you just couldn't? Um, was that kind of like difficult to have those friends? You kind of had to like split ways with people like that if you had that situation.
Yeah, so I mean, I really never had that situation. So here's the issue with me was I went to early college. So most of my friends that played on the football team, I wasn't in
Mm,
school with for most of the day. So
mm,
I was on a whole nother campus. So all I did was see them during football practice. So like I really never had a bond with none of them other than a couple people,
yeah.
like LeBron, and he was solid, and a couple other people, but for the most part I was on my own. So and that's the same thing with like going out. Like I never had that connection with none of them dudes where they was like, hey bro, like I'm finna throw this party, like come through. Like I was just a
Mm,
quarterback. I just showed up type deal.
yeah. That's crazy. My little brother, you know Jamil Conley?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he went to the early college too. So
yeah.
I know that just having that environment, I know that should probably help for sure. That's
Yeah, it's different. It's different. It keeps you out the way a little bit.
yeah, that's dope. So playing football, you said you played quarterback. Like, how did you become a defensive lineman?
Long story. Man, so I ain't gonna lie. The first, I didn't even want to play quarterback. So my first school that I went to was Timken,
Mhm.
and when I when I went there, the head coach he watched me at Crenshaw, and I played running back at Crenshaw. Like I played running
Yeah.
back all up until high school,
Hmm.
and the head coach he was like, I just need a smart athlete to play quarterback. I'm like, my brother played receiver, so I'm
Yeah.
like, shoot, if I can get him the ball, we're gonna be solid.
Right.
So I played quarterback, and then when they closed the school down and merged with McKinley, they was like, I wasn't even gonna play football. I was just gonna focus on basketball because I didn't really want to play for McKinley like that. And then I ended up coming back, played, and Then I went to Miami, Ohio, switched to receiver during spring ball, played
Mhm.
receiver for 3 years, and
Damn, three
then
years?
yeah,
That's crazy.
had a foot injury during spring of 2019, Liz Frank. Came back from that, and that my junior season wasn't what I thought it was. And then I made the switch to DN in 2020, right before COVID. COVID shut everything down. We came back. I had 3 years or three games of playing DN, had 2 sacks, and then I had my final fifth year senior as a DN.
That's crazy. I thought you played 2 years, and then I thought you played 1 year before the COVID. I didn't even know it was
Yeah,
3 years receiver. That's crazy. That's a crazy ass transition. I know that
yeah,
because I went from, I mean, I played corner and receiver in high school, but like going from receiver to just corner was a little bit of a transition. But I know from quarterback to receiver to DN, that's fucking crazy.
yeah. I was just bouncing. I was just trying to find a way on the field. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
knew
cool.
when I got to Miami, my roommate was also a quarterback. He was a style of quarterback. You know,
Yeah,
he was gonna sit in the pocket and drop dimes. You know, that wasn't me. Like
right.
as soon
Trying
as
to
I
get
see
out
a
of
hole open, I'm gonna get out of there. I'm gonna get out of there. So I wasn't getting many reps, and then I moved over wide
Yeah.
receiver, and same thing happened. Like they wasn't giving me the ball, so I was like, hey, I know I can play football. Like I'm just gonna make a play on defense.
Yeah, that's dope that you had that mindset though, because a lot of dudes they try to hit the transfer portal, they'll try to do this, do that, blame the coach, blame this, blame that, instead of just
Facts.
trying to find a way. That's dope for real.
Like
Appreciate
you
that.
said, just with transitioning from three different positions in through your college career, like was it just like your mental that really just kept you on track of just like not quitting or like hitting the portal? Like was that the biggest thing that helped?
Yeah, it was a lot of prayer too. Um, Especially with the DN transition, like the wide receiver transition happened so quick. Like literally, our quarterback coach came in our room and was like, "Yo, we got some receivers hurt." Like he was messing around. He was like, "Yo, we got some receivers that's ineligible type deal. Can't practice today. We may need some guys to move over." And I'm in the room like, "Shoot, I'm only getting 2 reps of practice. Like I might as well move over and you know do something." So I moved over, did that, and then the DN switch was just a long that season was so long. Like I wasn't getting the ball the way I thought I was supposed to be getting the ball, and I'm seeing other guys getting the rock, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So
Yeah.
I'm just praying and praying like, what should I do? Then I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm just watching like DNs like run around people and getting sacks. I'm like, yo, that I'm not saying it's because it's definitely hard, like, but watching it, I was like, yo, that's I could do that. Like, ain't no way. Like, so I was like, all right, bet. Made the move and been there since.
Did you have any like I mean, of course you have like hesitation and you thinking, but was there any point like where you had doubt, like, man, I'm about to just say fuck it or like transfer, or was there doubt
Nah,
like that, or it was just to the point where you just trying to find a way?
nah, it was no doubt because Miami was my only offer. Like I ain't had no offers from no other schools, no D2s, no D3s. I know, those lower levels can't really give offers, but I
Hmm.
ain't have nothing. Like Miami was my only offer, and I was like, I'm not finna give my talent to somebody else so they can, take advantage of what they could have had. Like, nah, I'm staying here and I'm gonna stick it out.
Yeah, that's a dope mindset to have. Going with that, as far as like the transition and all that, I know like your mindset was probably everywhere as far as like the next level.
Yeah.
When did you envision yourself like going to the league at first, like as quarterback, as receiver, as a DN, and when did you envision it and know that you was able to make it to the league?
So I knew I had a possible chance when the scouts would come through and watch practice. Like, you kind of see when they talking about you. You look
Yeah,
over, it's a scout over there, so you checking them out like they looking at you. So you see it and they like, okay, like I
yeah,
know they looking.
right,
Now I started during when I was playing wide receiver, but they wasn't looking at me, they was looking at other people. But I'm like, shit, they here, I'm finna show out.
right,
So I had always known that I could possibly make it just off of my build. They can
Yeah.
find something for me to do type deal. So, and then when I moved to DN after that COVID year, going into my 5th year senior, I got put on the freaks list. I was on the Senior Bowl and like invite list, the combine invite list, and that's when I knew I was like, like this finna be for real, for real.
Yeah. That's dope. When you got to, did you go to the Senior Bowl?
Yeah.
So when you got to the Senior Bowl, like what was that experience? Because I never like got that experience, but I always, excuse me, hear people talk about it. Like, how was that experience?
Hey, that was rough. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I hear that
It
all the
was
time.
it was rough. Like the first 2 days was straight like testing, and then you go to practice, and I'm talking about you getting beat up to like this wasn't a regular practice. This
Yeah,
was on some like set
training
the
camp
edge,
type
like
shit.
yeah, you gonna set the edge in the run, and we doing like one-on-ones, one-on-ones in a run game, like my back killing me. Then we get back and we got like interviews until 1 o'clock in the morning
Damn.
with teams. And then you
Yeah.
gotta get up at like 5 for some more interviews or meetings. And it's like you operating off of like 4 or 5 hours of sleep and then gotta practice that same day. No treatment
Yeah.
type, like you just
Yeah.
out there thugging. So
Yeah. I heard about that shit. That shit is wild. They need to fix that shit. Cause
nah,
that's
for real.
crazy. They can get niggas hurt out there, all type of shit.
Nah, for real. It was a couple people that got hurt.
Yeah.
And
That's wild.
that's before the combine, right? Or is that after?
Before.
That's
Before.
that's before. Yeah, that's what like
Yeah,
January.
that's before.
So you
Damn.
went to the combine too?
Yeah. Yeah. Did all that.
And you did all that more testing. Shit.
Everything all over again for the most part. A lot of the stuff that I did at the Senior Bowl that was going to be done at the combine, I didn't have to do. So that was a
Oh,
good
you
part of
didn't have to
that.
do it? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to do
So
the hospitals and all that?
no, I still had to do that.
That's the worst part.
That's the worst part. No, so the first day I was smooth, man. I got in there, I got like 2 X-rays, and they was
Yeah.
like, "You good?" So I'm like, "Bet I'm good." The rest of the time, they're like, "Nah." When you get in the rooms and they start
The
walking you,
H team. H team
bro,
doctor.
and I say, bro, that's the weirdest shit I've ever felt. Like I'm sitting on the table, and it's
Yeah.
all the team doctors sitting around looking at me, and
Right.
it's this dude reading a report to these people. Like he had a labrum tear in his right arm, a labrum tear in his left arm, right knee scope, left leg, left foot, list strength, just name it, all my stuff. And I'm like, yo, this shit is weird as hell. So then the next day after they did all that, they was like, yeah, we're gonna need you to get some more MRIs. Bro, I was in that hospital for 3 or 4 hours, I promise. Wired.
That shit is awful, bro. They got
Yeah.
you laying on that table like you a piece of meat. Just
Man,
reading
for
off
real.
all your shit, all
Wicked.
the injuries you had. Even if you good, you read off all that shit.
All of them.
Yeah, I remember I did an MRI and I twitch a lot in my sleep, so
Yeah.
I fucking fell asleep. I had to redo an MRI 3 times. I was in the hospital for 8 hours, bro. It was crazy, but yeah, that shit is the worst part for sure. When you went to the combine, how was that process as far as the interviews and all that?
It was smooth. So the Senior Bowl helped me out a little bit. So I had 3 interviews. I think
Mm-hmm.
Tampa, I think the Cowboys and one other team. And it was
Mm-hmm.
smooth. Like I'm pretty intelligent in terms of, being able to memorize a play, draw it up for you, speak well. So
Yeah.
the interviews wasn't nothing. Um, I killed the bench. I had 25. It was really I knew my 40 wasn't gonna be about nothing.
Would you run?
So well, I remember I ran it. I ran the first one. The laser, the time change from what's actually on the board when you look up there.
Yeah.
I remember I ran it, and that joint said 4.8 something. I said, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "Yo, I'm fucked." And then once I like got done, and they like put the official up there, it was a 4.7 something.
Yeah,
I was trying to think when I get off of that was
yeah,
that against my training. That's just like get off just
yeah. Have you been working on that?
yeah, for sure.
The ghetto?
It's totally different now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a long season, man. You get home playing football, then you go senior bowl, then combine, then you go back to training until you get, picked up. It was just a long process.
Yeah. I got one more question about the process. So did the Bears ever hit you up at any point in time during your process?
Yeah, I had one conversation with the Bears, and it was like they were still doing like the Zoom meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they really was looking at you kind of.
Yeah.
They still had the top 30, but I had one Zoom call with them, and that wasn't even nothing. It was like, yeah, I was
Yeah.
just checking in type deal, seeing who you are, light interview. I didn't think
Mm-hmm.
nothing of it. It was a couple teams that was talking to me. I'm
Yeah.
in the draft thing, like watching, like, okay, yeah, and then they pass up on me.
Yeah, I asked because that's what happened to me. Like
Yeah,
I didn't talk to Raiders at all though. Like I didn't have one conversation, nothing. And I was just like teams that was messing with me heavy. I'm like, oh yeah, and same shit I'm
right.
watching. And then obviously I had like the rape case and all that shit. So I'm thinking like I ain't even gonna get in the first round at all.
Yeah, yeah,
But like even when I'm seeing the teams, like they didn't call me, they not hit me up, nothing. But then the Raiders just called me and they drafted me. I'm like, what? I didn't even talk to them one time. Like I ain't talked to them at the combine. Like I had interviews. I had like 26 interviews at the combine. It's just like not one of them was the Raiders, and it was just like I never talked to them, but they drafted me. Like that shit is really how it be.
yeah.
That's dope.
So overall, though, you will say like you enjoyed the experience, or was it like enjoyable, or
The transition.
like I'm
He
saying
said the
like as in like
experience.
just everything like, and I know you just kind of said like all that shit was just crazy, but just to still like just to be a part of like that and to get drafted and to go to the combine, like did you still like was it you can enjoy it or was it just
Yeah,
too
no. That's no. You see it up there, the
yeah
combine joint and the
Yeah,
Senior Bowl. Like I I loved it. Just being able to, and that's where I knew that I was able to compete because I, I went to a MAC school. Like I played O State one year. I played Iowa one year, and I didn't even play that game.
yeah,
We played Army twice, but like that's Army. You're gonna get what's that? The zone read, the triple option all game long.
yeah,
So like to be able to go against what I'm possibly gonna be going against in the league, for 3 days straight, and then the game was smooth. Like that's when I got my confidence where I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. Like this ain't gonna be as hard as I thought it would. Like it's
yeah.
gonna be a smooth transition. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed it, and I got to meet some dudes and some guys that I still talk to today.
That's what's up. What shit, I hated that fucking process. I ain't gonna lie. That shit was awful. But I mean I appreciate the combine invite and I'm honored and to be drafted and all that, but fuck that combine shit.
Yeah,
But I definitely appreciate all the blessings I got. As far as the fucking damn, what was I about to say? Oh, the transition from college to the league. I mean, obviously you said you was in a MAC, so it's like a little bit lower level competition, and then you have the Senior Bowl. Like you said, you started to realize like it's good competition, people you're gonna go against. Like, what you think the biggest thing as far as the transition from college to the league was, like on the field?
the strength and just a little bit of the speed of the game. Like they operate, especially the vets. Like they know stuff that rookies wouldn't know. They know how
Yeah,
to put their bodies in a position to get you out of a gap type deal and just out physical you without even being physical. You know what I mean? It's just like
yeah,
I'm gonna take you where you want to go because I can see you got your body going that way, and I'm just going hip toss you tight, and it's just like it's going crazy. So you really gotta, you know, be patient with it. Like I caught on pretty quick about mid season, 4 or 5 games in where I was like, all right, I ain't strong enough, so I'm gonna have to do a little something different until I get strong enough to be able to keep my gap, get off the ball, make sure my eyes are in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. No, I feel that. That was about to be my next question for real too. Like, what do you think your biggest attribute, your best attribute as a player, and what you need to work on the most?
My best attribute is my ability to do a lot. So like right now I'm like the utility man on the D
Yeah.
line. Like I'm a dropper. Sometimes stand up and blitz from like the linebacker position depending on what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like they know that I know that I'm going to do my job the right way. So
Right.
that's
So they
that's
can
my
put you anywhere.
exactly that's my best attribute right now. And last year they had me doing a lot of stuff. It's not as bad this year because we got more three tech bodies. But last year, like during pass rush, I was on the interior rushing from the inside instead of on the outside. So it was just a bunch of
Okay.
stuff like that. My weakness, I still say right now, is just just playing fast. Like sometimes I'm so smart that I get in my own way. Like I'm trying to anticipate things before it come, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like get off the ball, have a move, do the move. If it don't work, like just be fast with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to get to right now.
How do you stay focused, like as a player, like especially like within the league too, because there's so many distractions. Like how are you able to stay focused, like with everything?
I ain't gonna lie, it started in high school for real, because I really didn't have many distractions. Um, early college really helped with that because we had so much homework on a day-to-day basis that I would just go home and do my homework. Then when I got to college, like that prepared me for college. So most of the time I'm knocking out my homework. I love playing the game too. So like if I get a chance to get on the game, then go out, like I'm on the
Yeah.
game. Like I'm not going out. So
Man,
that was
I'm the
that was the
same
main
shit.
thing. Really, the game really helped me out. Then I met my wife. I mean, we had known each other, but we really started talking in college. So having her to talk to and keeping her around, even though we was in two different places, that kept me from being zoned out doing other stuff. So when I got here, like now we married, I ain't, she my best friend, so I ain't got nobody else who I'm talking to for other than my brothers, you, Dash, Tellis, like a couple other people, you know what I'm saying? A couple other people that my family. Like if it ain't about football or something related to football, I really ain't doing
Man, that's a good ass mindset to be locked in
Man,
like that, bro. Because
it.
when I got to the league, boy, I was the complete
Nah,
opposite.
you was in a wild place too, boy. Vegas,
No, I
Vegas
wasn't even
different.
Vegas. It was still
You
Oakland.
wasn't? Oh,
Nah,
oh yeah, nah, oh
it
yeah,
was trash. It was so
yeah,
trash. But it made it worse because it was so trash that you had to travel. So I'd be
yeah.
traveling when I should be staying my ass home. My first game, my debut, we won. I went on a PJ to LA and got lit. And we had meetings the next day.
Oh,
I was in meetings hurting.
struggling.
Like I was just going crazy, going out, kicking it, trips everywhere. I remember after the season because we had a losing season,
Yeah.
and I got hurt, so I was just like, "Fuck it," start kicking it. After the season over, literally the day after the season was over, I went to Vegas. The next day went to LA. Next day went to Miami. Like I was
Like
going crazy, bro.
you was
So
kicking
I
it
commend
yourself.
you. Yeah, I commend you for having that mentality that early, bro. Because that's how I am now. So that's like I feel where you at, but I
Yeah,
just can't imagine me as your age doing that. Like when I got in, because I was
yeah.
just not like that. But I'm on the same shit now. Like I'm engaged. Like if it ain't up for my family or benefiting my family or helping me get back on the field, like it ain't even for me, bro.
Right. Yeah. So
I
that's
feel
how it's got
that
to be.
for sure. Definitely. Um, one question I had. I mean, obviously, all this shit about your mental is like spot on already. But do you realize who you are as far as like the elite level that you're at? Like, do you realize you're an elite person? And does that affect you from like being out? Like, does that weigh on you at all? Like, you knowing that?
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I I had one realization like right before my first game last year. I
Mm-hmm.
remember we was just we lock up for the national anthem. And
Hmm.
when them choppers went by and the uh, fireworks went off during the song, it hit me like, oh shit, like I'm like
I'm
it's
here.
for real. Yeah, like I'm here. It was wild, man. And then after that though, it was like that was like the only moment where I was like, that's crazy. Half the time, bro, I live my life like a commoner.
Yeah.
You know, you could look at me and be like, that guy does something, But for the most part, like I be, I eat at Texas Roadhouse. Like
Yeah.
that's our favorite. That's our favorite
Yeah.
spot. Like I love Texas Roadhouse. I mean, we don't get me wrong. We go out to eat and hit some nice places,
Yeah.
but
No, I feel
we gotta
you.
change.
No,
But
I meant like, so I get what you're saying, but I meant like, as far as knowing that, like, not even acting like that, but do you know that? Because, like, as far as you saying that, like, if you go to a Texas Roadhouse, you may get like fans and shit there, you know what I'm saying? If you go to Texas
yeah,
Roadhouse downtown Chicago, you know what I'm saying? So, like, being aware of that situation, like, do you know you're that person? Like,
oh for sure. I don't think it's set in for me as much just because I'm not as recognizable yet. So I can
yeah,
go in, I don't have many fans that come to me like, oh, like you DJ or like you Jay Fields. Like, no, I don't have
yeah,
that. Like I can go into a grocery store. Like I was curious about that. So I asked Justin, I said, hey bro, like, can you go into a grocery store without people noticing
yeah,
you? Like I just asked like, what does he do? Because I'm like, I know that's crazy.
yeah,
He was like, yeah, half the time I throw on some shades, a hoodie, and just
yeah.
go
He
in
gotta
there.
hide.
Yeah, he gotta hide. Like I don't gotta hide. Don't nobody know me for real like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it was. I mean, it's crazy because I was like a first round draft pick and shit, but like I ain't really known like that. And
Yeah,
I mean, I wasn't, and I'm still not. I mean, in Oakland, yeah, because it's like small and everybody know the Raiders, but like anywhere else, like I wasn't known or just like that, like a Justin Fields or like a Zeke or all them. So
yeah,
like, I understand the same way you feel. Like I can go to a grocery store, I can go out to eat and not be noticed and shit like
right.
that.
Sit
Yeah,
down unless they're a legit Bears fan.
yeah,
Ain't nobody can come up to me.
yeah. That shit is peaceful.
Yeah, for real, for real. I was like, I can't even imagine living like Justin, bro.
Man, that
Yeah.
shit
That's
be
that's wild,
shit. You eating somebody in your face with a camera.
man.
That shit be annoying as shit.
I'll be
Everywhere,
pissed.
boy.
And
Can't
then,
can't go out.
man,
What
and then
about
your
when you go back
reaction
home?
Nah, when I
What
go back
about when you
home,
go
I
back home?
I get recognized every once in a while.
Mm.
Most of that though is just because I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, and even on some like, oh, you play for like, no, it's just like, oh yeah,
Yeah, I know
that's
when you go back home and everybody love
yeah,
you. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
genuine. It feels genuine back home.
yeah. Definitely appreciate that.
so to kind of just saying like how you're able to just lock in and fully focus on football. What advice would you have for like the high school athletes, and, like the college ones who do kind of like get off track and like can't stay as focused and get distracted by the outside things?
Yeah, like I ain't saying you gotta be like me and chill out at the crib, but like my dad always said, you gotta know when it's time to be serious. You gotta know when it's time to not be serious. So I was always almost serious. Like, no, I'm saying like if you see me around, I'm gonna joke with you, but like
Yeah,
you wasn't gonna catch me outside of school, home, or in the weight room, or on the football field. Like it was certain places where you knew I wasn't gonna be at. So, like I said, I ain't saying to not have no life, but they gotta learn how to keep it to a minimum, you know. Like you probably shouldn't be at no, especially during the football season, you probably shouldn't be at no house party every weekend. You ain't got time for that. Like if you really wanna move on to the next level, there's certain things that you can't do. Like you can't be a regular student. You're gonna realize that when you get to college. Like a regular student,
Yeah.
yeah, they can go and party on the weekend or on a Tuesday night. When you get to school, it's gonna be the same way. A regular student gonna have so much time they can go and party on the weekends and on a Wednesday, Thursday night, and go to class or skip class and be fine because they got
Mm.
their parents paying for it. We
Right.
can't do that. I ain't,
Yeah.
you know, you risking something that you getting paid for from the school, like you don't want to put yourself in a position to blow it. And then if you do get to the next level, like them scouts know everything. Like they know if you a party guy. They know if you drinking, smoking. Like they ask you that stuff for a reason. They got it all figured out already. They just gonna see if you gonna lie about
Hell yeah. Man, they know everything,
Bro,
bro.
they know everything.
They dig, bro. They go back to high school, all that. They
Man,
digging for
they know
sure.
everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
would you say like your pops played a big role in just keeping you like on track and like understanding the main goal with like everything?
Yeah, and that's the reason why I took the psychology. I started as an engineer. I took the psychology route because I understood the benefits of having multiple male figures in my life. Like I didn't just have my dad, like Coach Boo Man. Almost all the coaches I had, like it was my dad had connections with so many people in the school that I knew I had eyes on me at all time. Like, and he always told like he was like, don't do nothing that's gonna mess up your last name. And I took that personal, like, that's my last name, that's my people's last name, my brother, my mom, my grandma. I do something stupid and they get word to them, like that's gonna hurt them. So it's
Yeah.
like once you realize that, and back to what I was saying though, but I just had a bunch of male figures in my life that kept eyes on me, that kept me, that I knew was watching. So I'm like, I ain't finna do nothing stupid. My
Yeah.
dad find out and you know, I'm getting kicked out the house for something stupid. Like it wasn't worth it.
Right. You didn't want to let them down. It's
Right.
bigger than you for sure.
Exactly.
I feel that. And that's how you become a great player. Shit. When you realize that on the field, like the shit is
Right.
bigger than just you. Like if you do your job, you may get somebody else to sack. You may get somebody to pick. You're gonna
Right.
cause the team the victory. You know what I'm saying? Even if
Right.
you ain't the spotlight. So I feel that for sure.
Yeah, that's good. I was just telling somebody too. I was just talking about. I said, bro, when we was in middle school, like Dom had like his own packed lunch of like a healthy meal prep. Like, bro
Right.
he used to have his fruit, his vegetables, and like his chicken. And I used to be like, damn, he eat healthy. Like he was eating healthy as shit. And it's like we eat school
Yo.
lunch. And I used to be like, damn, like if my mom packed some shit like that, I'm throwing it away. And it was like he
Yo.
just always was like focused, bro. And it was like crazy to see like you was always just like naturally a leader too. Like I remember just people just like naturally just gravitated to you. And you like never even like if people was fucking off, like you ain't even get on folks. It was just like, damn, they're gonna dime, like, kind of like get on
Half
our
the
shit.
time, bro, the reason why I stayed away from people, bro, because I had stuff going on that I ain't want to get picked on about. Like, bro, I was wearing hand-me-downs for my brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had some. He played at Tempe at the time, so when he moved on, I took his freshman shoes because my parents had bought me some K Swiss. I wore the
You ain't
K,
want to wear.
bro. I wore the K Swiss eighth grade, bro. I wore the K Swiss to school one time, and I think that's when Vine was popping. What are those? What are those, bro? Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I heard somebody say that shit from across the room. I said, I didn't even know if I didn't know if they were talking about me. Hey, and bro, Crenshaw was wild.
Yeah.
So I'm here. I heard that joint from across the room. I didn't even know if they was talking about me, but I was like, yeah, this ain't never happening
Yeah,
again.
you do.
This ain't never. So I put them K Swiss up, and I took my brother's old basketball shoes, some Nikes. I said I'd rather get picked on about some Nikes than some K Swiss. So I had to, you know what I'm saying? So it was stuff like that where I wasn't the best, I wasn't fortunate for real. Like I said, I have three brothers. Somebody, you know what I'm saying, we was all splitting money for certain things, and I was just like, shit, I ain't finna get picked on. I said, I'ma always be clean. I ain't gonna never be ashy. The most you can pick on me about is my clothing. And half the time I can manage that. So I stayed away. So I'm like, because I'm not a jokester. I'm not I'm not the type of guy that's gonna clap back at you. Like
He don't got no comeback.
I ain't got no comeback. Look, you just gonna. I'm gonna take mine and look. I'm gonna just be smiling like this. I'm gonna be like, yeah, you know what I'm
Man,
saying?
and I remember, bro, Crenshaw rough. Like it didn't
Yeah,
matter who
Man,
everybody
you
was
was
probably
or what you
flaming
was
in that
going
shit.
through.
bro. So like,
Flame.
I got cool with all the dudes that was on that shit, like Tellis, Larry. Like I became friends with all the dudes because I'm like, look, and I was good at sports, so I knew if I'm that guy,
Yeah.
you ain't gonna say nothing to me.
Right, yeah. You
You
ain't
Man,
gonna
know,
say nothing to the nigga that's
right?
good at
You ain't
sports.
gonna say nothing to me.
no, that shit funny. That nigga
That's
said he
funny
put
about
his
them
hand.
K-Swiss.
Hey, bro, that shit,
That's
hey,
crazy.
that shit hurt.
That is crazy as hell, bro.
That is like really good, bro. Like to have like that mental, just to go back to that point, like it's
Man,
like it was hard, bro. Like it was so many distractions and shit. Like you know how it was, like at school,
Oh
like it
yeah,
was so many different personalities, so many different things going on, and it was like the teachers. It was like teachers weren't there, bro. Like it was like couldn't control shit. So like just to have that was like
and
good.
I was in the smart classes, bro. Like
Man,
they was
man.
still on it.
no, that shit is really dope, man. I'm proud of you, bro, for
I appreciate it.
having that mindset and making it to where you were or where you are now from what you had to go through. But just for real, like having that mindset, because like, I mean, I always had like a dog mindset, but I never had a mindset to where I could just get the distractions out the way all the time. Like I had shit to where like if people wanted me to do this, do that, like I'll never be influenced like that. But like temptation was just my thing. Like if I wanted to do something, like and I knew I shouldn't do it, I wasn't always the one to like just not do it.
Right.
And I feel like that's because I mean I can't blame it because I didn't have a father figure, but like I feel like that definitely would have helped. So
Yeah.
definitely thank your
No, for
pops,
sure.
bro. Whenever you see him, I mean I'm sure you do, but just that's
Yeah.
just dope to have that for sure.
And that shit, and it shows to you're also letting people know like it's okay to be different. It's okay to
Hell
do
yeah.
like the right shit because like nowadays kids don't do that, bro. Kids want to be in the streets. Kids want to be ignorant. Kids just
I
want
want to
to
be
do the
cool.
bullshit.
So
And it's
Yeah.
like it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be you. Like, and you're the definition of like, and you show kids like, bro, be you. Like you
yeah.
don't
Nah,
gotta do the
facts.
bullshit. You can lock in and stay focused.
That's
Especially
what
in
that's
Canton.
yeah, for real, man. Like it's a copycat type of deal. And even Coach Boomman and Coach Montgomery, they will always say, bro, just be different. I was different before then though. Like I started being different in college and middle school when I was getting picked on. Like that's what kind of got my style to how I am now. Like I don't have nothing flashy in my closet. Like the most flashy thing I got is an off-white hoodie that a teammate got for me for the Christmas exchange. Like
Okay.
I don't want nothing to do with like for real, I don't want nothing to do with that stuff. Like I get a pair of Yeezys though. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend my
That's
I'm
on
gonna
the
spend my
list.
bro
On the
getting picked
kicks.
on
I was about to
getting
say
picked
them
on
K
for
Swiss.
the shoes. Hey, hey,
He
I'm gonna
said,
have
"Now look
hey,
at these."
That's one
I'm
thing.
gonna
I'm
have me
gonna
some
have some
shoes.
fire fit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
He
some
said, "Look at
shoes now.
these."
I got a whole bunch of shoes. You
Yeah,
ain't gonna get on me about no
shit.
shoes.
That's one thing I love is shoes too, bro. Love shoes, man. The
Pricing
shoes
them
crazy.
hoes now is ridiculous.
Yeah, the resale is
Yeah.
crazy.
Sorry. So, what's the goal for the like? What's the goals for the season? This season, what's the goals?
My goal this season, I only had one for real. I'm getting 10 sacks, and I'm putting that out
10?
there. I've already 10. I've had that. I said that before. I said that early on in the preseason before season started. I said I was gonna have 10. We 3 games in. I got a couple. I got a few pressures, so I'm getting close. I'm getting closer and closer each game. So I'm gonna get there. You know, uh, in terms of the team, of course, I'm trying to win our division, win our side, and get to the Super Bowl. Um, I think we're still working at it right now as a team, trying to figure it out. Um, but yeah,
What y'all got next?
we got Denver this week at
Oh,
home.
you gonna get a sack.
Yeah,
you
that's
gonna
what I'm
you gonna
saying.
get 2 or
That's what I'm
3
saying.
against them.
That's what I'm saying. So I've been
Yeah,
already started watching tape. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna manifest that for you. You're gonna get
For
2 or
sure.
3.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
definitely tuning in, bro.
Real quick though, since you just said film, how important is film for the high schoolers to know that? Like they don't think film is important. So
Man,
Bro, like
man.
it's
That shit
hard.
just lucky made me hot. Like,
It's
oh my
hard.
god.
It's definitely hard in high school. But if you can lock in on film in high school, it's gonna make a difference. Because high school, probably the easiest way you can beat somebody is in high school.
Man,
In
what?
college, that they gonna change something the next week when they play y'all. Like it ain't gonna be the same every week, especially
Yeah,
NFL too. Like it ain't never gonna be the same. The look might be the same, but it's gonna, they're gonna mix and match to make sure they're not giving you the same look, so you're not getting a tail. High school,
right,
it's gonna be the same thing every week.
right.
They gonna, if they hit on it last week, they gonna run it again this week, and it's gonna look the
Yeah,
exact same. So I definitely say film. If you can get the film work, try to win your one-on-ones in high school, you're gonna be set for college.
yeah. I be trying to tell the players that I got, bro, like that same thing as far as like film, like there's so many tells because high schools do the same shit. So
It's the
like if
same
you
thing.
just watch the film, like you will literally know everything a
Yeah,
receiver, because I train DBs, I'm like, you'll know everything a receiver's gonna do by the way he line up, way he uses his hands. Like I'll be looking at shit like if a nigga go like this, they about to get the ball every
yeah.
play. Because if not, they
They
just gonna be
tightening them gloves
relaxing.
up.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
They
like they
tighten.
know they about to get the
Yeah,
ball already coming in. Like just watching shit like that. Their right foot up, left foot up, where they at. Like I'm like, bro, the offenses don't do crazy shit in high school. Like y'all can watch film and y'all, but they just don't. They only watch it when the coaches show them shit. And I'm just like, but they got access to it. Like
yeah.
these
Oh,
dudes
they
got
do.
huddle access. Yes,
Oh,
bro. Like we didn't have that in high school.
we
Like
didn't have
these niggas, they got access to huddle film. Every team that they play, they can watch it beforehand. They don't even gotta wait till they watching it with their coach.
that. They
I'm
lock
just like, y'all don't even watch it, bro. They don't
lock
watch
in.
it.
We definitely have that.
Damn, they crazy, bro. But that's a whole nother podcast about them.
he like, I'm weak because your whole facial expression changed.
They be making me mad, bro.
Man,
He's making me mad. But yeah, bro, like definitely whenever you get a chance in the off season, come out here, like so we can get a
for sure.
workout in, we can
Oh, for sure. I can
do
get
all
some
that. But
footwork
just
in.
to kick it, like go eat, whatever. Like, but just to get around them so they can see a guy like you. Like, yeah, I can get
Oh, for sure.
anybody from that I know from Ohio State in the league, whatever. But like somebody like you from where we from, that's just dope to have that as well. That's why I always ask him to come. Like we watch film on Saturdays, or just they come over here, we just talk, and I ask him to come just to be here. Just like you said, you have multiple male figures just
Yeah.
around. Like I want that around them, and not saying like you got to come around a lot, but just they come, they meet you, they see a dude that just from where we from doing what he got to do, and the mental that you have, like I really appreciate that, bro.
For sure. We gonna be in touch. For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you coming on though, talking,
Yeah,
chopping
definitely
it up.
appreciate you coming on.
Sure.
For sure. Appreciate y'all boys, man. Give me the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Stay blessed, man. Get them
For
2
sure.
sacks, 3 sacks.
Yeah,
Sure.
for sure.
All right, bro.